Hey everyone, my name is Talisha Cardenas. Here I will be sharing how my senior practicum project went. I covered preventing catheter-associated urinary tract infections, also known as CAUTIs. Here I have my project goal. Um, my goal was to correct a nursing knowledge deficit to prevent CAUTIs by surveying the staff of their current knowledge, presenting new information on nursing standards, and evaluating their progress. I intended to educate the staff on the importance of understanding implications of inserting a Foley, infection prevention protocols, and offering alternate urinary devices in place of an indwelling catheter. Here are a few statistics and facts regarding CAUTIs that I felt were pretty interesting. Up to 13,000 patients die a year from infections that are associated with Foley's. Each day increases the chance of a patient getting an infection. And also 12% of patients that have a Foley catheter will develop a CAUTI during that span of the hospitalization. Here I have just a little summary from the manager of 6K covering like just exactly what the unit entails. It's a med surge unit and it's at Centera Norfolk General, which is a level 1 trauma hospital. Let's see. Okay, so that was a little bit about the actual unit. All right, so covering my actual project, I have the design phase. During this phase of the project, I focused on finding my facility's policies regarding the Foley insertion indications, Foley care, protocols to discontinue a Foley after insertion automatically within 48 hours, and then a bladder management decision algorithm, which tells you like if it is appropriate or not to remove that patient's Foley. Also, alternate urinary devices. I was actually surprised to find so many policies regarding the Foley care, which I was able to reference for my project and to the staff members who had questions. However, I did have an issue finding data regarding the hospital's overall number of CAUTI rates or per unit. I had to reach out to the unit educator who also agreed that it was difficult finding this information. My research outside of the facility consisted of articles and research studies to support the importance of preventing CAUTIs through using alternate urinary devices, identifying high-risk individuals, and proper hygiene techniques. For the remaining events of the design phase, I spent time creating interview questions and creating surveys to distribute to the nursing staff at a later date and creating a PowerPoint presentation to serve as a reference to share my findings on infection prevention. For the implementation phase, I spent time interviewing staff regarding their current baseline knowledge regarding the hospital's protocols for inserting Foley catheters. I also assessed patients with an active Foley, to ensure that they had appropriate orders that matched the indication for the insertion, and then how soon the line could be removed. After giving my presentation on CAUTI prevention and alternative devices, I followed up with a survey to compare the original questionnaires to. The after presentation surveys would be for me to evaluate the team's knowledge gained and the usefulness of my presentation. Over 2 weeks, I checked in with the same nurses to see had they been applying their new knowledge regarding CAUTI prevention. Evaluation phase, I reviewed the data that I had collected for 2 weeks after my presentation to assess for new cases of UTIs. I was excited to note that there were no new reported infections. I also did note that the number of patients with Foley's decreased. Limitations that could have impacted my results may be that since the patient population had changed, there may have been a decreased need for Foley's. I will say that the nursing staff did say that they were using more alternative urinary devices than previously before. As a reflection, I really did enjoy putting together this project for my senior practicum. There's an important subject for my personal, this is an important subject for my own personal knowledge and for staff and patients on that unit. I received great feedback from the staff and management, and that they wanted to use my PowerPoint as an educational resource in future um, training for new team members. I do feel that I accomplished my project's goal, and I created awareness to staff to take to the initiative to reduce CAUTIs. So overall, I felt like this was a successful project. And that is all I have for you all. Thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to my project.